Welcome to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding a small, unassuming coin in your hand, a simple 5-cent piece, commonly known as a nickel. It's something we often overlook as we go about our daily lives. But did you know that this seemingly ordinary coin, specifically the 2015 5-cent nickel, could potentially be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard that right, $99 million to be exact. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stay tuned because today, we're diving into the incredible story of how this nickel could make you an instant millionaire. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. A nickel? Really? It's just 5 cents. But before you dismiss it, let's explore how something as simple as a coin can become a rare, highly coveted collector's item. To truly understand why this 2015 nickel could be worth millions, we need to take a step back in time and look at the history of the US coinage system. The United States Mint, which was established in 1792, is responsible for producing all the coins in circulation today, including the nickel. Over the years, there have been many different designs for the 5-cent piece. But in 1938, a significant change occurred when the Mint introduced the famous Jefferson nickel. This was no ordinary design. Featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his estate, Monticello, on the reverse, the Jefferson nickel became an iconic symbol of American heritage. Since then, the design has undergone several changes, but the most famous one, the 2015 edition, holds a special place in history. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter, the 2015 5-cent coin. In 2015, the United States Mint released a special batch of Jefferson nickels that contained a rare error, a mistake that would go unnoticed by many, but one that coin collectors would later recognize as a treasure. These nickels were struck with a unique error, the wrong metal alloy. Normally, nickels are made of a combination of copper and nickel, giving them their signature silverish hue. But in some of the 2015 nickels, the Mint mistakenly used a mix of metals that was not intended for that year's coinage. This was an extremely rare mistake, and it set the stage for what would soon become a monumental discovery. As soon as coin collectors caught wind of this error, a frenzy began. The coins that were struck with the wrong metal alloy became a hot commodity in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. And get this, one of these error coins, sold at auction, fetched an astonishing $99 million. Can you believe that? A simple 5-cent coin selling for a mind-blowing $99 million. But how does this happen? Well, it all boils down to rarity, history, and the uniqueness of the error. Let's break it down. Coin values are determined by several factors, but the most important ones are rarity and demand. When a coin is produced with an error, especially one that goes unnoticed for a while, it becomes incredibly rare. The rarity of the 2015 nickel, combined with the historical significance of the Jefferson design, made this coin incredibly desirable to collectors. Many wealthy collectors around the world are always on the lookout for rare, historically significant pieces, and when one of these rare 2015 nickels hit the market, the bidding war began. The auction house was flooded with offers from top collectors, leading the price to soar higher and higher until it reached that jaw-dropping $99 million. But here's the thing, most of us won't find a nickel worth $99 million in our pocket. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare coins? First, check the year. Look closely at the date on the obverse side of the coin. It should say 2015. Next, closely examine the color and texture. If it has a slight difference in tone compared to a regular nickel, you might be holding one of these rare error coins. Finally, the best way to confirm its authenticity is to take it to a professional coin grader or numismatist. Professional coin graders use specialized tools to inspect and assess the condition of a coin, which plays a major role in determining its value. They'll look at everything from the metal composition to the wear and tear on the surface of the coin. Now, you might be wondering, what happens if I don't have one of these rare error coins? Well, don't worry. Even a regular 2015 nickel, if it's in pristine condition, still holds some value. While not $99 million, it could still fetch a few dollars or be part of a collection that appreciates over time. So, while it's incredibly rare to find one of these error coins, it's always worth checking your spare change. Who knows? that simple 5-cent piece could turn out to be worth a small fortune. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, it's the smallest details, errors, historical significance, and rarity that can turn a humble 5-cent coin into a treasure worth millions. Last, if you're a fan of rare coins or just love learning about their fascinating histories, then you're in for a treat today. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent piece, a nickel from 1987, could be worth a staggering $73 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick around, because in today's video, we're going to dive into the history of the 1987 5-cent USA coin, why it could be worth millions, and how you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. So, let's get started. First, let's break it down. A typical 5-cent coin, or a nickel, is one of the most commonly found coins in the United States. The one we're focusing on today is from the year 1987. While most people see it as a small, inconsequential piece of currency, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Released by the US Mint, the 1987 nickel is like any other in terms of appearance. It features Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello, his iconic home, on the reverse. These are common elements, but where things start to get interesting is with the unique circumstances surrounding certain 1987 nickels. So, how in the world could this simple 5-cent coin be worth an unbelievable $73 million? The truth is, most 1987 nickels are worth only their face value, that's 5 cents. However, a rare subset of these coins has been known to be worth far more. Let me explain how. Back in 1987, the US Mint was dealing with some production errors that led to a few mistakes being made. One of the most significant of these errors involved a small number of nickels being struck with a foreign substance, leading to a rare misprint. This error created a unique opportunity for collectors, as it resulted in a coin that had an extremely low mintage rate and characteristics that were unlike anything else produced at the time. To fully understand why the 1987 nickel can be worth so much, we need to go back to the minting process. Typically, the US Mint operates with extreme precision, ensuring that each coin that leaves the facility is flawless. However, in 1987, something went wrong during production. During the production process, a small number of 1,987 nickels were mistakenly struck with an off-center die. This caused the design on these coins to be partially blurred or misaligned, giving them a distinctive look. But here's where things get interesting, it wasn't just the visual error. Some of these coins were accidentally struck with an incorrect planchet, or even struck with a foreign metal alloy in rare instances. That's where the real value comes from. Now, let's talk numbers. The key to understanding why a 1987 nickel might be worth $73 million lies in the rarity of these error coins. You see, while millions of 1987 nickels were made, only a handful, reportedly fewer than 10, were produced with this minting error. When it comes to rare coins, it's all about scarcity and demand. The rarer the coin, the higher the value. And in the case of these error 1987 nickels, the combination of the minting error and the limited number in circulation has made them extremely sought after by collectors. While it's difficult to know the exact number of 1,987 error nickels that exist today, one particular coin made headlines when it was valued at $73 million. Yes, you heard that right, $73 million for a single 5-cent piece. This coin has set the record for the highest value ever attributed to a 1987 nickel, and it's caused quite a stir in the numismatic world. According to sources, this nickel was discovered by a private collector who had no idea that it was anything more than a regular 5-cent piece at first. After submitting it for expert analysis, the coin was found to have been struck with the rare error. When auctioned, it sold for a record-breaking price, completely changing the way people view this ordinary coin. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1987 nickel is worth millions? Well, first of all, it's important to understand that not all 1987 nickels are valuable. Most are just worth their face value, 5 cents. But if you think you might have a rare one on your hands, here are a few key things to look for. Off-center design, look for coins with a blurry or misaligned design. These are a key indicator of a minting error, striking problems, check for coins that show signs of being struck with an incorrect die or with overlapping designs. These are the hallmarks of an error. Unusual metals. While incredibly rare, some nickels from 1987 were struck with incorrect metal alloys, leading to a different color or texture. If your nickel feels unusually light or heavy, it could be worth investigating further. Once you've identified your rare 1987 nickel, what's next? If you think you've found a valuable coin, your best bet is to have it professionally graded by a coin grading service. This will provide a verified value and authentication, which is crucial for selling or auctioning it. There are various coin auction houses, online platforms, and private collectors who specialize in rare coins. If your nickel is truly valuable, you could be looking at a serious payday. To wrap it up, the 1987 5-cent coin may seem like just another nickel to most people, but the rare errors associated with some of these coins have made them incredibly valuable. If you happen to find a rare error coin in your pocket, it could potentially be worth millions of dollars. So, keep your eyes peeled, folks, and always check your change. You never know when you might come across a piece of history worth big money. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more interesting content on rare coins, collectibles, and everything in between. And as always, leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting!